On Monday, July 1st, I will be beginning my 12th year as your pastor. And so this past week, I was reflecting on all the homilies that I have given. And if you include the weekday homilies, that'd be over some 3,000 homilies that I've given over the past 11 years. And of all those homilies, I wonder to myself, what have I not spoken to you about? What is one topic that maybe I have not mentioned or touched in all of those homilies? And it came to me, I have never given a homily here on money. Long overdue. And so tonight you're going to get a homily on money. This past Friday, June 28th, the eve of the solemnity of St. Peter and Paul, I wrote a check. It is the last check on our debt of this parish. As of Friday, this parish is debt-free. And the thanks goes to you, the parishioners. You have been extremely generous. Our loan was taken out in 2017, and it was a 15-year loan, and we have paid that loan back in 7 years. Incredible, incredible. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your generosity and knowing that this day forward, we are debt-free. But that doesn't mean that you can't continue to give to this parish. Otherwise, I will have to give a money homily someday. But rather, I'd like to talk to you about the gospel. What is the cost of healing? How much does it cost a person to heal? Every time Jesus healed someone, something went out of him. Isn't it true that you can never produce anything great unless something is given of you, unless you pour your life into it, unless you pour your heart and soul into it? We can't do anything great. Think of a concert that you go to. You watch the piano player. He plays very well. His hands float over the keys back and forth, making no mistakes. It would be a good performance, but is it great? The only way that performance can be great is if at the end of it, that piano player is exhausted, pouring out his whole life, his whole soul into that performance for you. No actor, no actress will ever give a great performance who simply just repeats words, maybe has all the right inflections, but doesn't have any feeling in it. Their heart, their soul has to be into it. There has to be some type of a feeling in order for it to be a great performance. The tears, they have to be real. The feelings, they have to be real. Something of themselves has to go into the acting. If we're ever ready to help someone, we must be ready to spend ourselves. And it all comes from our attitude. Think of Moses. Up there on the top of the mountain, the people had built a golden calf and they began to worship it. And as Moses came down that hill and he saw what was happening with the people, he was greatly disappointed in them. But remember what he did. Moses implored God to blot him out of the book of remembrance if only the people might be forgiven for what they did. Moses was willing to give his life for those people. As a nation, this coming week, July 4th, we celebrate our independence. What were those men and women willing to give for our freedom? What were they willing to give for you and me? None other than their own life. They were willing to lay down their life for us. The greatness of Jesus was that he was prepared to pay the price to help others. And that price was the outgoing of his very life. What happened when that soldier struck him in the side with that spear? Blood and water poured out of his side. His whole life for you and for me. What more could our Lord have given for us? He poured out his very self. What cost are we willing to pay to help others? What cost are we willing to give that others might be helped in our life today? Are you willing to give all for our brothers and sisters, for your brothers and sisters? For whenever Christ performed a miracle, something went out from him. What are you willing to give to help your neighbor?